check. More than others. Run it, people. What's good? What's good? We're in the building. A little bit to the right. Have to get some cameras going over here. I had a pretty cool Friday night. Hope everybody had a real nice Thanksgiving. For us, it was a 4-day weekend. It's always tough to get out there again on that Monday. But we did it because we got to pay some bills. How was Chris's gig turn out? It was dope, man. I saw some of the venues he went out there and did some small ones, did some pretty decent sized one, but overall he said it was a great experience out there on the road. On the road again. All right, let's see what you guys got here. I put on top chats. Let's try to put on live chat better. See if that works. 43 in the building. Let's get him up there. Let's get some likes up in here. Monday, wasn't planning on going, but you got this late breaking news on Sunday. Joe Biden pardoning his son. Yeah, she could say what she wants on air, chingaderas, but that's exactly what her words were, chingaderas. As of, I believe yesterday or even like by Friday, the 2 caravans that were headed to the border, they're gone, fool. Those caravans are gone. There's no longer any talk about the tariffs because they are they're bending the knee, homeboy. So Canada saying we ain't like you Mexicans. Oh, I saw that one. Yeah. But you know, you can try to take that offensive, but I think that was more. I think that was more of a saying that they're not a third world country. I believe that's what the guy was implementing. But Canada as well is breaking it down. There was reports, you know, Trump had a meeting with Trudeau, whatever his name is, and at the meeting, the guy was telling him, the president or the prime minister of Canada was telling him, you can't do that. It's gonna destroy his economy. And that Trump pretty much told him, well, if you're stealing $125 billion a year from us, it's gonna destroy you. Then maybe you should become the 51st state, and you can be the governor of that state. I don't think he liked that very much. Yeah, Randall Kildare. Hopefully, I'm not chopping up your name too bad. As far as the Biden thing and the pardoning, we'll get down to the nitty gritty, bro. The reason of the pardoning is not just pardoning him of the 2 or 3 different crimes. One was like a felon, ex-felon, or a drug addict trying to get a gun in line on a federal form. The other one was on tax evasions because he got all kind of money from China, Ukraine. Remember, this is all tied to the war. This is all tied together to the crime, the Biden crime family. So what he did was Joe Biden, the president, the sitting president of the United States right now, he pardoned him all the way up to 2014. So anything from 2014 to 2024, they can't go back and look at. And even though the Department of Justice, DOJ, had already pretty much let other stuff expire, other money laundering stuff that was going on in their gig. So what it is Biden is making sure that you can't go back and look up the stuff that they did, and they did it together because they were all paying the bills with it. Hunter was giving money to his uncle. Hunter was giving money to his sister. Hunter was giving money everywhere. They were trying to hide it. They had so much money, bro. That is what has been going on. Put this shit back here. Behind the scenes in the Hunter world. Arturo Frias! AC, stop denying yourself. What am I denying, fool? Cálmate, güey. No seas mamón. Let me try to put that comment section a little bit better. It's kind of hard to see. He said, stop denying yourself. Homie, stop denying yourself. What are you implementing, fool? What are you trying to say? There you go. There you go. Ay, pobre Arturo. Pobre Arturo. Let me lock that in real quick. Manuel said, you surprised me with your live today. Had to tell my lady to reset our in and out day till later. I'm not missing this live. Hey man, appreciate that, homeboy. Yeah, I've always said that I don't typically put a date when I'm gonna do a live or anything like that, just because I don't want to make it feel like it's work, bro. Once it starts feeling like it's work, then I just don't want to do it no more. I work every fucking day, and the last thing I want to do is come over here and feel like I am obligated. You know, if it was where I wasn't working construction and this was paying my bills, then I could go ahead and set a date. Like, all right, this is this one, this is this time. You know, the whole thing like that. But yeah, man, I appreciate your support. Dark corner. They can't prove that. Can't prove what? The money laundering. The big guy getting his check. They can prove a lot of that stuff. And I don't know if that's what you're speaking of. They actually did not let the Department of Justice, because the Department of Justice trying to do was this, man. Some of them wanted to ping the phones of Hunter with his Cash App, or not his Cash App. I think he was using not Cash App. When it wasn't a money thing, it was what's the one that you can use and supposedly stuff goes away, but it really doesn't. Most of the Droid phones already have it in there. The WhatsApp, there you go. I think he was using WhatsApp to talk to certain people, and they wanted to ping his phone to know where he was at the time. And I bet you some of the times he was at the White House. He was the president, knew about it. Everybody knew about it. Hunter Biden was getting kickbacks allegedly from, he got a job in Ukraine. He got a job. He was getting money from the Chinese government. There was just money coming in hand over feet, and Hunter was smoking dope at this time. So it's not like Hunter was this sharp ass businessman that was gonna help these guys, make some money. No, Hunter was being a sleazeball, and his father was being a sleazeball right next with him. That is just complete greed. At this point of Joe Biden's career, he's got money. He was a vice president, but what it is, it's career politicians like Joe Biden who just want more money. Want more money. At the end, what he does, he pardons them. Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. America Primero. The party went all the way to 2014 when Brandon was VP and was also involved in other words, pardon himself. Absolutely, homie. Let's see what the party won. You hit the nail on the head. That's exactly what it was. And anybody that knows. Anybody want a lot of the liberals, and someone here in the comments will make an excuse. Well, how about this? No, the liberals are the ones that are running on this high and mighty horse that they are these, they are these loving people with morals and values. Nah, they're all sleazeballs, bro. They're all sleazeballs. But at least with Trompito, he'll tell you, this is what I'm gonna do, this is what I did. Like, come on, he don't gotta hide the BS that these guys do, let's see. They'll catch him getting on the wrong foot again, take him to the cleaners. Then again, it's not like a real offense is needed for prosecution. Yeah, for sure. But to me, it's like, you know what? They should have looked at it. Remember, this is the same Department of Justice who denied there was ever any laptop. All right? There was no laptop. Laptop was fake. It didn't exist. Why? Because they knew it was a smoking gun. And then even news outlets, there was this CBS journalist who said that she brought it to her higher ups in CBS, says, man, I got the whole laptop. I got everything. I've double checked it. We made sure it's the cleanest file. It's good to go. And they refused to run the story. Why? Because it's a big organization, man. The liberals with the mainstream media, it's a big organization. They hide for each other. A real journalistic channel is gonna put good or bad. It doesn't matter. Their job is not to sit there and pick sides, and that's the problem with most of the media. But that's why they got clobbered in the election. That's why they're getting clobbered in the numbers. NBC is dying in numbers. CBS is dying in numbers. CNN is dying in numbers. Who's taking over is like podcasts like Joe Rogan, PBD, and others like that. Kelly, all these ones that left big organizations started their own podcast because why? Because they can call people out. It seems like it doesn't seem like it is. When you're in one of these huge organizations, it's like, hey, you can't call this person out. Hey, you can't say this. Hey, in other words, I can't be a journalist? Then what's the whole point of being a journalist? If you're telling me what I can and can't do, and that is not what a journalist is supposed to be, man. I'm saying it's Trump's fault. You know that saying, if it's Trump's fault, Putin must be held accountable. Yeah. But the sad, ironic, funny part all mixed into one is that all you heard from the Biden administration, whether it was his press secretary, whether it was Joe Biden himself, will you pardon your son? No. They asked her like 4 different occasions. No. We already said it unequivocally. No, we're not gonna pardon him. Joe Biden did a ABC interview when he's asking. It's like, no, whatever the jury comes up with, I will hold by it. No, I will not pardon. No, I will not commend his sentence. No. And what does he do? Does the complete opposite more. But this is just a perfect way to end the year on the BS and the lies that the Democratic Party does, homie. And that's what they lost, carnal. That's why they lost. That's what you got. Yeah, he was a straight up basic, homie. He was smoking dope. They also said they had allegedly child porn on the laptop. And it's funny and ironic how you don't charge them for that. They try to charge them for the bare minimum, try to give them that sweetheart deal. that never went through because the judge saw right through it and said, no, I'm not giving you this. And so why spend all the taxpayers' money, millions of dollars going through this whole charade, and you knew damn well you were going to pardon him? Why? Because he wanted to win the election. And the Biden administration, the Democratic Party thought, hey, if we pardon him right now, that's not going to be a good look. So just go out there, lie through your teeth, because we all know he was going to pardon him. Come on. I mean, I would have pardoned him. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit and say I wouldn't pardon my son, my daughter. Of course I'm going to pardon them. But, and somebody said that to me, right, on Instagram. But the difference is I would not be in bed as far as the criminal activity that he was with his family. He knows this. He knew damn well his son was involved in Ukraine. Ukraine was giving him money. I want to see how much was Hunter Biden making in Ukraine. What position did Hunter Biden hold in Ukraine? The board of Ukraine Energy. All right. How much money was Hunter Biden making as the board of Ukraine Energy? No chingas way. Damn, that site's closed. Funny how that works, huh? Analysts of Hunter Biden's hard drive shows his firm took in about $11 million from 2013 to 2018 and spent it fast. So there you go. He was on the board of energy, and his firm got about $11 million, which all got dispersed to some to his uncle, some to his sister, some to the big guy. I think he was paying Biden's mortgage for all those years. It was just complete fraud, bro. What the hell is this fucking crackhead know about energy other than I light the lighter, I smoke my crack, homie? That's all he knew about the energy. And the president knew it, carnal. We know this. Let me see. Redacted is another great independent news source. Natalie and Clayton Morris both left CNN to start it. Perfect, dude. Yeah. And that's what's going on right now. That is the wave. The wave is now people are tired of, and it's sad to say, CNN, MSNBC. We always knew what Fox was. Fox was the same thing, but Fox is actually becoming more of a journalistic news network than CNN. I thought I'd never say that because CNN would lie through the teeth, bro. Fox does it too, but you knew Fox was a right wing, just pundit news. It wasn't really. They had very few journalists, and they started leaving. They had more. I think they called them like opinion something or another. They were opinion or commentators. That's what they are on Fox News, right? Well, CNN used to actually be a news organization. CNN is just a glamorized version of The View. That's all it is, bro. MSNBC, forget about it. Those guys are just the super whack jobs. MSNBC, I don't even watch. I don't. The only thing I watch on MSNBC is when the highlights come out and people roasting them on me. But other than that, nah. Yeah, Johnny M. He was on the board of energy company in Ukraine. $11 million in about what, 6 years or less? Let me do my math over here, homie. No, 5 years. In 5 years, Hunter, the crackhead Biden, made $11 million for his firm. And then that firm had like, I think when I saw this one time, I could be wrong in the numbers, but it had close to like 25 or 50 different shell companies where they're sending money over here, they're sending money over there, and that money goes, it's laundering money. That's what that is, people. If you don't know what that is, all these shell companies they put all over the world is to launder money and hide from the taxes, which he got caught slipping on. But now, hey, they sent Al Capone away from taxes, all right, because they couldn't get him on anything. They sent Al Capone away from taxes. This fool was laundering money for his dad. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Oh, that's the one. Yeah, you're right, Chris. Redacted are the racists towards Hispanics. There was comments in the laptop they don't want to put out there. They don't want to put out there. Positivity doesn't sell. You ain't lying, fool. Democrats cry about white privilege all day, but immediately defend him pardoning his son and giving him endless daddy's money. What's this one, fool? You ain't lying, player. You ain't lying. Let's see what we got over here. Smiley, what's good, player? Ground News is good outlet to see the bias and the balance in reporting the news. Ground News. There you go. What else we got over here? American primero, demo rats. Don't care about spending, especially if it's the people's money. Just look what Kamala spent over 1.4 billion in her campaign, was still 20 million in the hole. Yeah, dude. It's because they thought that we were just uninformed. They thought that they were speaking to the old Democrats because a lot of Democrats didn't vote for them. And they thought that they can just put Megan Thee Stallion out there clapping her booty cheeks for us, and we'd be like, oh, well, we gotta vote for Kamala because she got the girl, clapping the cheeks in front of us, bro. Like, what the fuck? You got Eminem over there, so I gotta vote because Eminem. Nah, get out of here. These are the people that we're talking about, the elite people, and they all got paid. Not one single artist out there did not get, even Oprah Winfrey. They gave her, I think, 1.2 million to her studio, and she's like, I didn't get paid. Again, they know how to work the game. It's a shell game, The shell game, when you see it in New York, certain parts of LA, they got the thing, and they, here, get some money. They're just jacking you because it's a hustle, bro. That's what they're doing with us. It's a shell game. But the thing is, we finally got tired of it. Said, toma, puto. And we got rid of him. Let me get this number thing up here real quick. The big guy. If we got 10%, went to the big guy. Anybody who's followed the story even halfway knows what we're talking about. And they're like, no, that's not what he meant. Yeah, he said, I have the big guy sitting right here. So if you want to make this happen, you better send that money. Yeah, and these are all actual texts and correspondence that the Department of Justice has on file. They have, this is exactly what happened here. He was talking to this person in China. Dude, that's in there selling your country out, homeboy. Let me see, make sure my Bluetooth is on. We're like we're in December, bro. Shit. We're in December, carnal. Fact. Activado. All right, we're good. All right, let's go. Let me put that number out to see who and what you want to talk about. If they deport a lot of people, you think they will bring out the robots to work the farm fields? No, man. Ain't no robots working no farm fields. The technology is not there yet. Not even close, man. I mean, they definitely have machines that are doing much more work than the farm workers can do. But there's certain vegetables, there's certain fruits that a machine just can't get. I mean, I've seen them where they go to get apples. It's pretty crazy. They go grab the machine, it grabs a tree in the middle, just, and then all this stuff just starts falling down. But nah, and that's one thing. That's one thing that's gonna make or break the Trump administration with Latinos. If they just go after the criminals and the dirtbags, we're okay with that. But if they start going after, regular farm workers or warehouses and start then nah, bro. I think that is where, and I don't even think, I know, I can say I know, that is where Trompito will make his mistake. So hopefully they're smart enough to know that we're part of the system. I mean, there's a lot of people that are illegal that are part of the system, man. Hopefully they can look, past all the BS and know that they have to sit here and work with us. Because, they start taking people out of the fields. Who's going to pick that stuff, bro? I ain't going to pick. I'm not going to go pick that stuff. Fuck, no. Let's see what you got. Salute. 408. And you will be exposed in due time. I don't know what you're talking about. We got in Karen's info. I don't know what that is, huh, man? But okay. Hit that like button. What's up, Moises? And your cue. I agree. I watched the kid, and he's good. All right, so what do we got? TV anchors are often members of the Screen Actors Guild, SAG. Due to their own on-air performance aspects, actors that easily fool the masses. Yeah, but you have some of these guys who are... They're actually journalists, bro. They went to school for years for this stuff. And to sit there and go on a show and just give up all your all your journalistic backbone, all your morals, all your values, because journalists are not supposed to be for sale. That's number one, and that's always been a tough one. That was always great about journalists back in the days. Not for sale. Don't give up their sources. Have morals and values. Breaking news regardless if it's a guy on your team or not your team. Journalists are supposed to not look at politics and pick a side, even though within themselves it's like a referee in boxing. You're not gonna. You can be a referee in boxing, and I'm sure there's been some times where there's referees that like or dislike certain boxers, but when they're in that ring, they can't pick and choose. All of a sudden, I like this guy a little more. I'm gonna let this other guy get away with with the elbow here. No, I mean, if you're a good or great referee, you're not letting your own opinion of somebody dictate how you're gonna referee that fight, and that's just me. Let's see what he said. Lalo G said they're not going to report the Mexicans and most of the Central Americans, which are here completely undocumented and not receiving any benefits. They are not going to. No, they never do. I mean, they never do. Tell me one administration that does. They don't, bro. How about all the guns that up in Mexico? That's your boy. That's your boy Barack Obama, homie. Was like Fast and Furious, carnal. Ese flaco. ¿Qué dice, carnal? Yes, that's supposedly what they're gonna do. We'll find out, man. So they're gonna go after there and remove or deport the Venezuelans, Colombians, Ecuadorians that came out of here, declare asylum, and then live off taxpayer dime. I heard, and I don't know how true this is. I heard that a lot of the Haitians that were in Springfield, Ohio, are actually taking off, bro. They're taking off to sanctuary cities. They're not sticking around because they know Trompa's in the building, fool. I mean, like I said, you can see already the difference of having a certain kind of president, because right now you already have it where where Mexico's bending the knee, where Canada's bending the knee. They're not letting all those caravans come in here. It's all politics, homie. It's all politics. It's the Venezuelans and Colombians who will be deported. No, they're gonna deport. I think they're gonna deport a good chunk of people from everywhere, man. But hopefully, it's just the ones that get caught committing crimes. That's right. But that is the issue a lot of times with the liberal cities, that they don't want to give up. They don't want to give up anybody in general. There you go. Saludos, Gil from Colorado Springs, Colorado. What's good, my man? Said Wack said he kicked your garage door AC to react. Wack can suck a cock, homie. That guy also said that he's got the gay video of Nipsey Hussle. He's got this, homie. Show video of me there, me hiding, and me this. Homie. You want listen? If you want to believe Wacko Jacko, if you want to believe that I was there when he came around, then you gotta believe that all Southsiders are snitches, homie. You can't have one or the other. So if that means all Southsiders are snitches, man, that fool's a lame, homie. I don't believe that lame, carnal. Bro, you're misinformed. I don't know about what, player. Yo, I don't get how at the beginning they were saying no more sanctuary cities, then they make LA a sanctuary city. Oh, that's simple, because they thought they were gonna win. That's as simple as that. They believed they were going to win. So when they believed they were going to win, they thought we don't need sanctuary cities because we're going to deport all these people. And then lo and behold, they got their asses kicked, bro. They got their asses kicked. And now they're making sanctuary cities because say what you want about Trompas, homie. Trompas is one of the only presidents that everything he says, he's going to try to do. He's going to try to implement it one way or another. He may not do it because sometimes the powers that be, whether it's Congress, the Senate, will push back and say, no, you're not going to do it. But he's going to try, bro. So all these fools in office right now know damn well that when it gets hot and heavy that Trump's gonna do what he's gotta do. And he already said he's gonna come in here, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And that's why I say that's why Mexico already broke down their caravans, bro. They already said, nah. This fool's gonna put a 25% tariff on us. In the first week, the Mexican president said, "Pues nosotros también vamos a hacer los tariffs." Yeah. It's all hot air. I mean, we are the consumer, brother. So at the end, she broke it down, and as we speak, those caravans, you're not gonna see them in the news. I mean, they're gone. David Sanchez said it's gonna take a long time to sweep up the first round of migrants who have been arrested for crimes and released, which is around 1.3 million before they go after the rest. Yeah, I hope so. The issue with the last time was this, that and it's still probably ICE policy. If they go into a dwelling, house, apartment, and they're looking for, let's say, Jose Sanchez, right? Jose Sanchez come up on the list. Hey, fool, you're getting deported. They go looking for Jose Sanchez. He's there. They get Jose Sanchez. Well, guess what? Everybody's in that apartment is going to be asked, hey, let me see your papers. Hey, let me see your papers. Hey, let me see your papers. And if you got an uncle that's just related to this guy, and that uncle's been here for 10, 15 years, they're going to deport him, bro. That is a policy that I don't like, but that's just the game. So in other words, if you know you got somebody like that, you best be careful. It's almost like harboring a fugitive. And if you're there, good luck. How can people take you serious? You're misinformed. Listen, Mac JR, whatever your name is, the phone number's right there. Si no, cállate el hocico, güey. Si no, you shut it up already. People always want to comment. You're misinformed. If you want to do it, homie, just run it. If not, just zip it, homie. Liberals will say they will only deport brown people and focus on making America white. They believe nobody's here undocumented, illegally or otherwise. No, yeah, I knew people who were from England and that were illegal. There's people from China. There's people from all over the world who are illegal. That's not him, homie. James has a large platform. He did. Listen, homie. I would have never put that fucking lame on my platform. Plain and simple. Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. He don't like it. Okay, let me break this down to you quick, homie. If you want to clip this, homie. All right. How are you gonna get that piece of shit on your platform? And what he does divide and conquer very, very strategically, right? He will sit there and say, "Oh, these fools are lame. This fool's a bitch. But all you other Sureños, I know some real Sureños who are gangster, who are this. Those are real Sureños." But then on the other side of the token, but you're all snitches. You can't sit there and say on one side that, oh, I know some real Sureños, but then you call them all snitches, homie. That's what that fucking lame is doing. And for us to even give him a platform, disappointing, homie. At best, disappointing. So there you go, homie. Take it up with them vatos, homie, not me. I'm good. No, it's called standing your ground, homie. Maybe use a punk, Carlos, and I can go to your house and knock on the doors and say all kind of shit while you're there, and then you're gonna be like, "Oh my God, maybe that's you, homie." But I guarantee you won't knock again, homeboy. You figure it out. These fools. That's a good one. That's a good one. Citizen, homie. And as many times as that fool called the cops and asking why they haven't arrested me, go ask him. It's funny how you can see people hanging around with that lame, and he's actually called the Hunas and called not once, not twice, 3, but 5 or 6 times. Why hasn't he got arrested yet? Why? Well, maybe because your stupid ass been stalking this guy for many months, and then you finally go over there and you get what you were looking for, homie. But it is what it is, homie. It is what it is. You may be laughing at that one, fool. You may be. I know Cali's not a stand your ground law, but in my property, you gonna come to me while I'm there, homie? I'm gonna stand my ground, fool. That's what I'm gonna tell you. Anybody, if I'm there, I'm gonna stand my ground. Nuts. Oh, I hit his garage. Get the fuck out of here, man. You asked me a simple question, but see, when you say I'm misinformed, I take that as a sign of disrespect, because this is a playbook of the left that just stopped working. If you don't like what I'm saying, I'm a misogynist. I'm a racist. Now I'm misinformed. The ironic part is that this is 2024. This is the most information we have ever had in our lifetime. Today, and then tomorrow, and then the next day. And the longer we go on, as long as we go to World War III, we'll get more information. Hotline, hotline.
Que huele, Mr. Gear? What's the deal, man?
They're gonna come deport me, fool. They're gonna come deport me, Kimo.
Dang, carnal. Hey, they're gonna deport. You can't deport all of us, carnal.
Yeah, tell that to Chingo Bling.
Shout out to Chingo Bling. Hey, we're gonna put him on the front line. He gonna get the first of it. And they were like, we'll be back.
Yeah, for sure. What's good, fool?
Hey, what's the deal, man? The first pardon of the year, the first pardon of the holidays.
Hey, fool. First it was first it was the two birds, and now it was this turkey, homie. I don't want to disrespect the turkeys, fool.
Hey, they let the jive turkey out the coop.
They let the jive turkey out the coop. That fool's like, where am I going next? Fool? Where am I going next? Come on,
bro.
Yeah, hey, no mames.
That's a low blow, dog. Like you could at least. Hey man, let your son, at least take fall for something.
Yeah, this is what I would have done. I think would have been fair. And this is the play I thought he was going to do. And I think he would have done that play if he got elected. Because he always said, remember, I'm not going to pardon him. I'm not going to pardon him.
He kept on saying it.
I think if he would have stayed in office, what he would have done, he would have commuted his sentence. He would have done do like 6 months. After 6 months, and he would have said, all right, it's time for you to get out. But to sit there and just now, hey, wait, se miran bien pendejos, güey. Se miran bien pendejos, güey.
I think there's a catch to it because if he wouldn't have pardoned him, you have to ask the freaking the DA and all them are gonna try to find out what's really in that laptop. That's probably why he did it too.
No, but the thing is, they know what's in that laptop. They have I seen an interview with a CBS journalist, right? She's like, I have all the information here from the laptop, every single bit. We were ready to drop it before the midterms that when Joe was going against Trump. They were ready to drop it before, and they said, her higher up said, "Oh no, we can't drop this before the midterms. It might change the election." And she's like, "Who cares? Yeah. This is news. This is newsworthy." Yeah. His son was taking money. Shit. His son was taking money. His son was saying racial. I don't know if he was saying the ER word or saying wetbacks or what. Yeah. But she said he's saying racial stuff in here. He's getting money. He's got pictures of underage girls, like the whole shit.
Yeah, I know. And got the piedra on the scale.
And got the piedra on the scale with 2 holes on the side, fool.
No shame.
With 2 holes on the side, fool, just like that.
Hey, how did the turkey giveaway go?
Oh, dude, hey, bro, that shit was beautiful, homie. That shit was beautiful. Hey, dude, a lot, like a good chunk of ladies crying. Unas cuantas señoras ahí, güey, because they know me on the block, fool. I've been there for 30-something years, right? Yeah, fool, they come, hola, ¿cómo estás? They give them a hug, like, hey, I told you, thank you, man, we look forward to this, appreciate you, puras señoras latinas, güey, and at the end, it was everybody. You saw whites, you saw blacks, you saw raza, you saw everything there, bro, because the community needs that, bro, and the beautiful part is, I even got there a little bit late. I got there like around 9. Yeah. And there was already a long ass line. So I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, I saw the vato with the animals. I was like, oh shit.
Angels ponies, bro.
Angels ponies have a backyard boogie for real, dog.
Angels ponies, bro. It's just a great family event on me, and it's in my hood, which means that much more to me.
Hey, what happened to the rest of the YouTube yardas? They don't want to pitch in or what?
Them YouTube yardas ain't doing it. Hey, they ain't giving out no turkeys, and they ain't taking no fades, fool. That's why it's all puro woody, fool. That's why I'm like, man, you know what?
Hey, I saw Lefty putting a freestyle all banged up. What the fuck's up with that?
I haven't seen it. I heard about that, bro.
Yeah.
So see, I guess tiró chingazo with one of his boys.
Hey, I guess we're gonna scrap this one for real quick and then hit a freestyle afterwards.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
It be like that sometimes, homie. It be like that on the black side.
No. Hey, I've been there, but golly, not live, way.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah. Who's got it? I gotta go check it out.
Hey, it's all good. The good thing is, you know what? Nothing bad happened.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are knocking him because he got a couple of verses on the track. But hey, you know what, man? At least Rafa's reaching out. Black and brown are still,
They're just hating on the young guy. For listen,
that's all it is.
His voice, you already know it's lefty gunplay. right? When you hear that, when you hear it, I think, well, that's Lefty Gunplay, bro. So if he doesn't have to do a whole verse and his shit's still banging, like, you can't hate on that, bro. And if you are, it's just you're hating because people, this vato doesn't know. We'll never find the perfect candidate, but this was putting on, this was opening doors, whether people see it or not. And to me, it's a dope ass thing for Lefty to be on. It's a dope ass thing for Peso to be on there, and that just opens the doors for these guys to do bigger and better things. Which what?
Of course,
open the doors for all of us. But hey, homie, the haters are gonna hate. Hey, Trucha,
you're gonna go back. Whatever.
I said, Trucha, Lefty Central American, homie. They're not gonna want him in the Chicano world, fool.
Hey,
shout out to the Centrals.
I heard they're trying to get you back on Trash Bag Boys.
Oh yeah. I don't know, fool. I don't know, homie. I might have to run that fade first, homie.
Hey, just put on them big ass fucking them inflatable wanted way.
No. We're doing solid, fool. Let's do this. Oh, I'm gonna get my 10 ounces. Yeah, I'm gonna get my keys, fool. Now I got keys. I got brass knuckles. Next, he hit me with the bat behind the head. Like, hey, these fools come up with good ones, fool. Hey, wait, those pinches noqueados que he saw the fear. He saw the fear. I saw the fear in his eyes.
Hey, you should just go pull up and announce and fucking bring the gloves. Fuck it.
Oh fuck, fool! You can't write this shit, bro. You can't write how fucking fools be lying, bro. But
but they give you your props though. They give you your props.
Oh no! That fool's not. That fool's not. Yeah, that fools are all good.
You're a good staple in the community, man.
Yeah, for sure. No, shout out to Trash Bag Boys, homie, all day long, homie. And Compa Raider donated some cash to the turkeys as well, homie. So I appreciate it. Yeah, see
man.
Yeah, you see him in the comment section. I said, love to Compa Raider, homie. He came through, homie. He came through.
The Tasa need to do a little jamboree, man. For the holidays, man.
The which one?
The whole salsa, man. You need a. I know. Kind of, Blue Devil kind of, looks bad, but hey, you know what? I think he can redeem himself, man. Get him on the next turkey giveaway, man.
Listen, that fool, people forget about it, and they already have in about a week or two. To me, it was just like I said, it was very disappointing, fool. Very disappointing. Yeah. If I know some vato went to one of my homies' house while he wasn't there, or even when he was there, even worse, and did some fucking foul ass fucking straight bullshit, right? I'm not fucking with that guy, homie. Like it's not even a question. Like, hey, homie, people talk about the morals and the values and the clecha and this. Fuck that. I don't need to know all that. Yeah, we don't need all that to know. Thank you, bro. He's the one that makes all those people look bad like that. When people say, oh, they fucking like, well, that's why. That's why homies aren't meant to fuck with these guys. Like, do this or that, because you always get a motherfucker like that, homie.
All the race baiting chapa shit needs to get thrown out the window. If you're gonna be down for the brown and down for the black and the brown, hold it down, but stop trying to.
No, like I said, how are you gonna be saying, oh, I know some real sureños that are solid, but all you guys are snitches? How are you gonna know some real ones? And then after that, you say, but you guys are all snitches. So in other words, I know some real ones, but at the end of the day, you guys are all bitches. That's pretty much what you're saying, homie. That's what he's saying, homie. That's what he's saying, homie. That's what he's saying. Yeah, so to me, it's like, fuck that fool.
It's all good.
All right, Kimo.
Hey, you still got the love from the raza.
Oh, you know this, Kimo. Appreciate you, homeboy.
All right.
Salute, brother. Late. Mr. Gill, you know what it is, homeboy. Oh, James Rodolfo, he said, Gil, you kicked it with the district attorney. 3 fingers has good basis for saying Double S talks to police. And he also said he's got the gay movie of a Nipsey Hussle. He's also said every fucking lie in the book that you could ever come up with, homie. So if your basis is because I'm having a professional conversation and a professional podcast, because I'm sitting here talking politics right now, homie, like real world politics, right? Or national politics. If you want to stay on that low level shit and say, oh, well, he talked to this guy. Come on, homie. Who else can talk all this crazy stuff? I'm going to kill this. I'm going to do that. And never get arrested. Never get the place ready. If you saw one video of me talking about if I almost smoked it, I guarantee you my place is getting raided, homeboy. You can think whatever you want, Rodolfo. I don't know what part of the street you grew up, but I don't think it was in the streets, homie. As the saying goes, Rodolfo, you know why they make sidewalks, homie? Because the streets ain't for everybody, homie. And the streets definitely ain't for you if you think like that. What's up, Validated Streetwear? It's been a minute, Gil. Shout out to you and yours, the real Validated Streetwear brand up in this that's right, homeboy. Go check the homie out on IG. Validated Streetwear. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Positive doesn't sell. if he's misinformed, why don't you point out what he says wrong and inform him on the truth? I agree. But like I said, that's just a playbook part to say, oh, you're misinformed. Okay, well, tell me if I'm doing if I'm working on a construction site and the guy's gonna drill, let's say for a number 7 rebar, right? 7/8, right? And he has a bit that's 3/4. I said, hey, bro, that's the wrong bit. And he says, well, or I told him, you're misinformed. I said, no. I said, a 7/8 bit needs to be 1 inch. You always need to be 1 inch bigger than the diameter of the rebar you're putting in so the epoxy will get covered. That's informing me. Just saying, oh, you're misinformed because you don't like what I'm saying. The truth is the truth, homie. I mean, shit, if you're fucking 850 pounds trying to put on a size 38 jeans, I'm going to say, hey, homie, those ain't gonna fit, brother. Oh, you're misinformed. I'm doing basic math, carnal. But there you go. No llores, vato. Call in the show. Support, man. Let's see what we got. Gil, you go to the trash bag, have them make a rap Christmas song. Hey, that Compa Raider song wasn't too shabby, fool. I got to give him that. That Compa Raider song was not too shabby whatsoever, bro. I was like, oh, shit. I remember I was playing it on my TV at home, and what did my wife say? She's like, who is that? Is that so? I said, no, that's Compa. She's like, that's Compa Raider? I said, yeah, come check him out. She's like, oh, shit. It actually doesn't sound too bad. I said, yeah, it actually doesn't sound too bad, homie. All right, compa. So do your thing, compa. Sup, big girl? What's up, Central Cal? How we doing, carnal? Trucha con el cholote, homie. Good live, homie. Appreciate you tapping in as always. Hey, if you were president, you would do the same thing. Okay, that is another great excuse that the left is using, right? If you were president, you would do the same thing. Okay, on that part, you're absolutely right. But on the truth part is, I would never let my son get to that position, and he had every opportunity not to let his son get into that position. The only reason little Hunter became part of the DWP, pretty much what it was, of the Ukraine country, was not because he had a degree in it, not because he was a super engineer that was, making these new solar panels or making a nuclear facility for energy. It's because his father was Joe Biden, Vice President of the United States of America. The Chinese government wasn't sending him 50,000, 100,000, 200,000 for some bunk-ass paintings because Hunter Biden is such a great artist. It is because Hunter Biden is the son, or was the son at the time, of the Vice President of the United States. Hunter Biden didn't have this company made $11 million with all these shell companies sending money everywhere, paying his dad's mortgages, paying money to his uncle, paying money to he was paying money to the whole family because he couldn't bring it all in. And that's part of the thing that's going on. Tax evasion, homie, because he was getting all this money, didn't know where to put it. Al Capone, tax evasion. So don't sit here and just simply say, oh, you would have done the same thing. I'm not going into business with my son slanging dope, bro, because that's the equivalent to what they did. Slanging dope, doing fraud. I'm like, what? You want me to get involved with that? No, that's on you, player. If that's what you want to do, go ahead, but you're going to go to jail. So as much money as the Biden family had prior to this, they're so greedy that they're willing to throw Hunter, who was a crackhead at the time, out to the wolves. But luckily, hey, they have power. And they did it right in front of your face right now. And this is just a good sight to sit there and see, yeah, both sides are dirtbags, bro. I'm never going to sit there and say, oh, these guys are the angels. No. But at least, just like Malcolm X said, the Republicans are going to show you their teeth, homie. They're going to show you their wolves. They're going to show you who they are. The Democrats are going to tell you something else. The Democrats is like that dirtbag-ass pastor talking about, Jesus loves you, give me some money, this and that. And he's in the back playing dice, getting a blowjob from a hooker, homie. That's what Democrats are, carnal. You figure it out however you want, player. Con duro, don't depend on that. There you go. Make belt two as normal as again. Make belt two, huh? Well, I know in California, I don't know what the belt two part is. I'm talking about the Constitution. I mean, the Second Amendment. That if you have, I want to say, if you have a CCW, a concealed carry weapons, and you get it like in Orange County, you can go in LA and get it. To me, anybody who has a clean record, hasn't done anything, has a gun at home, and is trained in a weapon, you should have a CCW, bro. You should. Every single American. I wish I could, but I'm an ex-felon. I can't. But every single American should be carrying if possible, bro. Because in today's world, you could be at the gas station. You saw that thing out here maybe 2 weeks ago. You had this jackass, and it was a guy going to all the women, especially if you're a woman, you should be trained with guns and go to the firing range and learn how to use them and then get your CCW. Because if something happens like that and your child's in the car and you got this guy trying to take off with your child in the car, I mean, you can pop him. And as you should, because, hey, we got to protect ours, right? Let's see what we got. Hotline. What's happening, homeboy?
What's up, big dog? Acá nomás, güey.
Dime, güey, ¿qué dice la mafia o qué?
Acá calmado, I've been listening to you all the time, my boy, like, my respects.
For sure, homie, for sure. What's going on?
¿Qué onda con el Biden, güey? Que he pardoned his son.
Yeah. I think it's BS. I mean, I knew it was coming. Like everything else that we've been saying, and anybody who's in the conservative world, okay, Joe Biden's going to drop out of the election. Oh, that's conspiracy. You guys know what you're talking about. And then he's going to pardon his son. No, he already said 6 times he's not going to pardon his son. But the pardon isn't the tricky part. Trip out on this. He pardoned him all the way to 2014. So it wasn't like, hey, I'm pardoning you for these 2 crimes. I'm putting a pardon that will blanket give you immunity from 2014 to now. Why? So the Department of Justice doesn't go investigate it. If the Department of Justice doesn't go investigate it, they can't go with this new administration and go see, even though I think they're going to go look, go see where all this money was going. This money was going to his dad, fool. He was the big guy. He's on the phone with the Asian guy, and he's telling the Asian guy, listen, I'm here next to the big guy, and if I don't get my money in 30 minutes, you're going to feel the wrath. And hung up on him, bro. Who's the big guy?
I feel you, though. Like, I mean, it's so funny with that man. And I'm thinking, like, fool, like, honestly, Trump would have protected his kids, too, though.
He would have what?
Like, Trump would have protected his boys.
No. Listen, everybody would have.
Like,
everybody. Hey, wait, everybody. But this is the difference. Would you get involved with your son illegally? That was the thing. And that's where Joe Biden was supposed to tell his son. That's where Joe Biden was supposed to tell his son, hey, you son of a bitch, you need to not be doing all this. You need not to be taking bribes. This was cracked out, and Joe Biden was taking the money. So it was greed. It was plain greed all the way across the board, bro. But am I surprised he pardoned him? No, but it just exposes, don't believe what they say, because for the last 6 months to a year, he's been saying no.
Yeah, American Cholo, look, fool, I'm going to tell you like this, man. I appreciate you, dog, because fucking your voice, man. Like, I don't agree with a lot of shit you say, because I'm still kind of like, I came from the poor, dog, from Compton.
That's right,
I feel like, on the Democratic side, but you entiendo, way. I hate the Democratic side because fucking the way they make us look, like we got to be cool with all that other extra shit, that we ain't cool with.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Pero, as far as when I heard about Biden shit, I did think, like, hey, dog, like we saw it coming.
We saw. Hey,
like you've been saying that. You've been saying that.
How far are you from how far are you from where that 9-year-old lost his life yesterday, bro? That shit was horrible.
Oh, I just heard about it. Honestly, I'll be working like 6 days a week, dog. So, my primo just sent us a picture of the Leo Morrillo, Leo Morenillo. And I seen that, and I was like, and he told us like y'all need to get the fuck out the city, like fool, like we lived there all our lives.
Yeah, I hear you, bro.
And, like shit happens, fool. But
hey, but the dad was the one that killed him, bro.
No.
Yeah, I'm not.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, this just broke maybe first thing this morning or like 10 a.m. Yeah, the one who got arrested, his dad, fool. His dad. I don't know if he was. I don't want to sit there and assume, but yeah, right now who's been arrested for that is his father, dude.
That sucks, man. It sucks to hear, man. You know, especially come from a city, you know, like we already got a lot of bad reputation, you know, and we don't need that, you know, like as far as you know, like man, his
For
family,
sure.
dog, like they're gonna hurt,
Yeah,
dog.
that sucks.
Pero, you
Yeah,
know,
y más ya Christmas y todo, güey. Está cabrón.
vale, verga, güey. But you know what, much love, fool, and you know, like as far as politics, fool, you always gonna like take it from what it is, dog. You know, like you're gonna get bad and good and people that agree and disagree, pero tú sabes, güey, politics está cabrón, güey.
Yeah, for
Porque
sure. Hey,
nos tiran pendejadas and sometimes they promise us shit and we don't even get it, fool.
that's right. That's why we gotta pay attention. Hey, homie, I appreciate the call always, homie, from Compton, carnal. That's right,
Se
homie.
cuida, cabrón.
Ya está, güey, ley. No, yeah, I saw Lefty's mural in Baldwin Park, homie. I know Lefty don't like that mural, homie, but it's actually it's funny and it's listen, whoever drew it, they copy that first drawing very well. System Control, he said, wait, so you can interview a DA, LAPD, but if you interview a DO, you're no good. Elaborate. Yeah, it's not even that hard, bro. A police officer's job is to keep the peace, get criminals, arrest them, the whole shebang. That is their job. A district attorney's job is to sit there after they get arrested to go in there and prosecute these people, right? These are people that in our community, the district attorney, I think I've asked them questions that many people would have never even thought of asking him, right? You're actually having somebody who comes from the streets, still lives in his neighborhood, is still good in his neighborhood, asking questions that I know some of my homies that are actually breaking the law would sit there and be interested in listening to. And I got it like that because I'm very well fucking loved and respected in my hood for all the right reasons, right? As far as somebody a DO, homie, you chose a certain life. After it didn't go your way, you get on, which is fine. I'm still not judging you for that, homie. To me, fuck it. This is the play you wanted to play, you're gone. But then you want to come back into the mix? Nah, homie, don't work like that, bro. Maybe in your world, system control, maybe it works like that because you're just a super square guy who, like I said, man, the streets ain't for everybody. That's why they make sidewalks, homie, for people like you. So to sit there and carry other people's baggage, right? And that's what you're going to do, whether you know it or not. If I'm just going to sit here and I'm interviewing a cop, everybody knows he's a cop. I'm not, what the fuck? I'm not sitting here. Hey, if I'm sitting here having lunch with the guy, giving him, yeah, of course. That's fucking dumb as fuck. Different thing. I'm doing a podcast, right? But if I sit here and I'm bringing somebody who owes somebody money or owes somebody something or somebody wants to really hurt them, guess what, homie? I just affiliated myself with that. I am part of that fucking issue. I don't want those vatos issues. They made their bed and they can lie in it. I'm not sitting here talking about it. I'm not sitting here. I'm just saying, hey, homie, I'm good. And unfortunately, people like you sometimes get all butthurt because I say it, but you're the one that brings it up. But I'm just giving you the truth as I know it, homie. Like, I know homies that are in not good standings, and if I'd seen them somewhere, some of the guys would be like, hey, what's up, homie? How you doing? That's it. I'm like, hey, you're a piece of shit. No. Don't get me wrong. But only because I don't want to collaborate with you. Your own homies don't want to collaborate with you. So when their own homies don't want to collaborate with them, but you want me to, not carnal. Like I said, stay on the sidewalks, kid. You don't want to get hit. LA County's not allowing CCW. That's a problem. Wake up. Go vote red all the time. Yes, I know. But if you go and you get your CCW in Orange County, LA County has to respect it. That's law, homie. And I don't know. I thought it passed the California thing, and it may have not. But as soon as Trompas comes in, he said first day in office, that's going to be one of the executive orders. All states must what's the word they're using? Must allow, but it's another one. Must adhere to federal law. And federal law, it's like, fool, this is the new wheel out of the pinta, homeboy. Like, hey, homie, big homie, we got a new big homie on the yarda. Oh shit, everybody can have a burner, but legally, homie. So if you want a CCW, go get it somewhere else. That's what I said. It's easier in Orange County. LA County, very difficult. You got to be like an off-duty police officer or something like that to get it, right? Orange County, you get it even less. But I think you can even go, well, I don't know what the law's in. I think to get a CCW in like Arizona, you actually have to be a resident of that place. But yeah, Orange County is much more conservative, so I would go and get it there. What's the deal? Yeah, drop out. And then some people say, well, I never dropped in. Today's word in drop out, people, just means somebody who left the hood in bad standings. I mean, that's it. Man. You don't get too complicated. What's up, Fenner Lokes? You know what it is, homeboy. Let's see what I got, Fenner. Dropping bombs on these fools, homie. Más no les gusta. There you go. Yeah, that's what it is, people. You guys been keeping up. Yeah, it's law or free will to be a motherfucking gangster. That's very well put. I take that as, if you want to be this way, you can. If you want to be a motherfucker, but there's prices to pay for that. Major prices. That can't be right. It is right, fool. That can't be right. Medical cannabis thrives on disregarding federal law. Yeah, well, I think that I was educated with what's the homie's name that came in here? Jonathan. That he actually doesn't want it to become unregulated federally and taken off certain lists, because he says once that happens, the FDA will get involved, because now it's just pretty much like a Tylenol or maybe a little bit higher than that. Ibuprofen, let's say the one that's got to be given to you by a doctor. Then that will make all the small shops go away. And I never thought about that. That was a dope ass podcast. You guys haven't watched it, man? You gotta go check it out, homie. A lot of information. And in fact, nowadays, no sights on a pistol is crazy talk. Yeah, homie, it's nuts up there, carnal. That's a great question. What year were felons not allowed to get guns anymore? Because back in the old days, people were still allowed to carry. I would say it would have probably had to been under Reagan or before Reagan. I don't know. Let me see. When did felons lose the right? That's a great question. I never thought about that. Let me see. The right bear arms felons was restricted by Gun Control Act 1968, man, which prohibits. Wow, so it wasn't too long ago. Allowed convicted felons to apply to Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearm for relief from the ban. However, there is a disagreement among federal appeals court as to whether its ban violates. Yeah, I think that kind of violates Second Amendment. I mean, to me, I would love to see a law where after if you've been clean for 10 years, let's say 20, oh my God, and you haven't caught a felony, you haven't caught no BS kind of stuff, then you should be able to carry a gun. Because to me, every person should be able, if they want, have a right to have a gun in their house to protect their houses. Because especially today in the Southern California area, man, there's people breaking in the back window, doing all kind of stuff. What are you gonna do? Scream at them? Like, come on, especially if it's just your wife. Nah, you want to have that piece there to protect them. But that's just me, carnal. Really, Chaz said, New York has been without rights since the early 19th century. It was called the Irish immigrants were robbing all Italians when they came in, and the Italians started packing and shot back. Oh shit. That's a pretty interesting story, bro. That's history. I love history. Okay, so it was the damn Irish, because you gotta remember, people, we've all had our turn in the barrel, man. Especially New York being, the mecca when people were coming into this country before the country moved so far to the west. The Irish looked at horribly at a certain part of New York, man. They were bad, bro. They didn't want no Irish there. The Italians had their piece too. Everybody, the Jews had their piece. Everybody in New York at one time or another was at the bottom of the barrel. Okay. You can sell cannabis at a farmer's market. Please tell me what farmer's market. I asked for a friend, homie. I didn't know that. I thought it'd be like, I've gone to places where it's a festival or convention, and you can buy whatever you want there. Yeah, Lalo G. I believe that was in response to the Black Panthers going up in the state capitol here in California at the time with shotguns. Yeah, no, you're right. And the one who, I don't know if that 68 one was, in California you're speaking of. In California, they banned guns. It was Ronald Reagan to top it all off, man. And how ironic is that, right? It was Ronald Reagan, and it was because the Black Panthers were arming themselves, and they had every single right to arm themselves. So that was the government saying, we don't want these black people with guns because they scare us. And in reality, they were just fighting us just so damn racist. Convicted felons have to go to court to get your right back. I guess. I know people who who cleaned their record, but I've yet to know anybody who's cleaned their record and was allowed to go buy a gun legally. I think what it is you can even squash a record, but in the feds when they do the background check, that never goes away. I could be wrong. I don't know. If somebody knows, please let me know. I want to see. They made restrictions of firearms in the 80s in response to I'm sorry, 80s, the 60s. Yeah. Showing up to, yeah, I'm reading it again. I need my glasses. I need my glasses. New York, same BS, different century. Yeah, to me, it's kind of, like I said, there should be a way for an ex-felon to go in there, especially now that we got a presidente. We got a presidente. That'd be a good one. We got to get a Trump, bro. Hey, Trump, you can't carry a weapon. Yeah, so Trump legally shouldn't be having people with guns around him. But that's just me. Hello, don't forget the Brown Power movement, fool. All right, Chaz. Yeah, el cartel of los Democrats, homie. The Democrats, Democrats don't give a crap, bro. Let me go see this real quick. Hold on, I don't want to see for myself, player. Let me change the screen real quick. Let me see if I can see it. Let me see if I can see it. What we got here? No, not that one. Haven't seen it. I'm looking for the mural for. I can't see. No, I think I'll go on IG for that one, player.
Eminem, right? Little Malcolm, nigga.
All right, here we go. Let's see what you got. How do you feel about the NRA? I think the NRA has its ups and has its downs. I think that there should be Second Amendment, and that's what they are pretty much. They're back in the Second Amendment. I think there should be somewhat of a tougher laws in certain situations to get a gun. I believe that any kid nowadays below the age of 21, maybe even 25, and if they still live at home, they should need the parents' permission in order to buy their first weapon. After a year or two, it's almost like the DMV. You gotta every 2 years you gotta go and do like your smog check, which is gonna be you sign up for a course at one of these local gun ranges, which will actually bring them more business. And you pay $60 and you go there. You go to the range, you put your gun down, you show the guy I know how to use my gun. And that just doesn't show people you know how to use your gun. That gets somebody who doesn't know you to sit in front of you, have a conversation with you, and if for some reason they see something that just doesn't feel right, they can actually sit there and make the process like. I'm concerned about this guy. He seems a little bit sketchy, because people get on drugs. People start losing their marbles. People start becoming schizophrenic. And that way, it doesn't need a family member to do it. They can do it. And that should just be until the first couple of years. And after that, you're almost grandfathered in. You go every 5 years or something, right? If that. Another part, that way, if you're 21, 25 and younger, and you live at somebody's house, that means you're still not independent enough to live by your house, by yourself. Well, you might be. I don't know. And if you are good, your parents will sign off that they're liable. Everything's good. But if you're not good, because these parents live with you all the time, and you could think about all these mass shooters, they had issues with some of their parents. Some of their parents were fucking jackasses, and that's why they got arrested with them and are going to prison with them. But I think there has to be some mechanisms to try to stop, and that's what the major issue is with the assault rifles and stuff. They're not really assault rifles, but you know what I'm talking about. You got the M16 looking ones and all that good stuff. Hold on, we got a phone call. Hotline. Oh. Hello.
Yo, Gil.
What's going on, player? Talk to me.
What's that, my brother? I just wanted to talk to you about that gun control.
Oh, let's do it.
That gun control measure, okay.
just real quick, there was a guy who wrote a book. It was Bill Cooper. He wrote a book called Behold the Pale Horse, and he talked about all this stuff. He mentioned, Alex Jones talked about him, but he mentioned that they want to flood the streets with firearms and let it just happen. But reality is, when the district attorney lets these kids be caught, these grown men, what happens is the women, the children, and the elderly pay for it. Okay, if you're a grown man and you're out there and you know what I mean, you're doing your dirt. You know what's up. You know what time it is. You play, you pay. So
absolutely.
You go out there, dude. You got to be able to step up to the plate and pay your bill like a grown man. You put your fucking big boy pants on, and you step into that ring. You do what you got. You do what you got to do.
Yeah, for
You're
sure.
gonna go out there and you make that conscious decision to run around like a pendejo with a gun, playing around. You pay. You pay. Simple.
Yeah.
Because the people that pay for it are the community.
The community,
They're held hostage to their own community. Yeah. You know what I mean? But they know what's happening. They let it happen. Most of the statistics, those numbers, the deaths come from the inner cities. We're talking Detroit,
for sure.
Chicago.
For sure.
We're talking New Orleans. We're talking D.C., Baltimore.
100%, bro. 100%.
Oakland. And so
100%.
The other ones are suicides. And you know what I mean? It's just crazy how they try to they know people don't understand this. And there's billionaires who push for this.
Yeah.
There's something called the Gibson there's called the Gibson Gun Control Foundation, and what they do is they do research and they give unfair, biased propaganda. They try to scare people, and that's what they do. They want you to say, "Hey, you know what? Just take it here. Take it off my hand.
Yeah.
You just have it."
Yeah. When you see the same politicians who are talking about gun control like that and trying to take guns away, but they won't say a peep when you had some, like when Chicago has those crazy weekends where you got 15 people murdered, 3 kids, and all that. And you don't hear a peep about that. That's the crazy part. Kids are literally getting killed every day in America by gun, and usually gangs or some other shit. But it doesn't make the news, bro. Or it makes it for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And after that, it's no big deal.
And that's the thing. They don't really care about them. In reality, if you look up, Gil, how many people go missing in America? How many people do you think go missing in America every year?
Oh man, fucking millions.
Kids.
I would say.
How many think?
I would say hundreds of thousands.
You're up there. You're pretty good. A lot of people I ask are like 50,000. No. We're talking 430,000 kids go missing every year. Okay,
Yeah,
if you
nuts,
care about
bro.
kids,
That's nuts.
if you care about kids, you perverts, let's go find out where those damn kids are. Don't play games with me and tell me you care about kids.
Right.
That's 500,000. That right there is not the weirdo down the street. That is organized. That's organized. That could be CPS behind all that crap.
Yeah.
Look at Gabriel Fernandez. They didn't do nothing for him.
Let's look the other way.
Yeah, exactly. They'll get a kid that's timid, shy, quiet, without a father. This kid's being hurt. Let's take him out of his home. Then they end up putting up with freaking some Satanist family.
For sure, homie, for sure. So don't talk about kids and how you care for kids until your perverted ass takes care of that shit. Find those kids. Find these people. But you know you won't do that. There's another man who was a director of an agency. His name was Ted Gunderson. This guy was in charge of all that human trafficking, all that stuff. He was in charge of 3 offices, and this guy talked about all this stuff. Right. So
and nobody talked about him. This guy is before Alex Jones.
Hey, give me your thought on this guy, Willie Will, number one. And this is what I think is the back and forth between Second Amendment people who are very pro and people who are not. He says, Gil, you sound like a communist, and then 30, 35 years old? Come on, man. No, I'm talking about, if this is my thing. Like if I was the one, hey, Gil, you're going to make a law about gun control. I said, all right, guys, this is what I got. You can have whatever guns you want. But if you're somebody 25 years old and younger and you still live at home with your mama, obviously you're not adult enough to go on your own yet for whatever reason. I'm not judging. But your parent as a homeowner who you will be storing this gun at, I want them to sign liability saying, yes, I am taking liability for this gun. I know it's being locked up. If anything happens to it, I can be sued. And I guarantee you, if you have a parent that knows their kid's a little bit out of whack, it's going to be like, fuck no, I'm not letting you buy a gun.
It's called accountability. If you live with your parents, you should have enough decency and freaking respect to tell your parents what you got in the house. But obviously, if you're going around their back, you're just a little creep.
Willie Will probably lives at home, so he's upset at me right now, bro. Willie Will,
think about it. All the people that are doing all these crimes, they're all weirdos. And think about it.
Yeah, they are, bro.
No, listen. I'm gonna tell you something else even further. Here, I'm gonna expound on something real quick.
Shoot.
I'm gonna make it quick. Okay. So a lot of the people that are doing shootings, their families are prominent. So I'm thinking that these things are set up. See, there was something called the Georgia Guidestone that came out, and it was Albert County, Georgia, okay, spelled Eelbert. It was blown up during the whole pandemic thing, okay? On it, there was 8 different languages, okay? Spanish was one of them. It was an edict. It was supposed to be how the world was supposed to be. 500 million people in balance with the world, okay? The 500 million, I'm like, nobody's going to live through there because there's 7.83 billion people on the planet. So if there's 8 billion people, and I looked it up, in the year 1900, there was 1 billion. So you mean to tell me 1.6 billion?
Right.
So there was 3 times the amount of people you wanted on the planet in 1900. That means that is a mass ratification of the human population. Okay? So who wrote that? They don't know who put it there. So some guy named R something Christian, R.L. Christian. They don't know who put it there. They assumed it was Warren Buffett. They don't know who it was. I'm thinking these are people on deep state. Listen. I think these are people on deep state. These are people on universities that teach. These are people that are in alphabet agencies that are not voted for. These are all the people that are supposed to inherit the planet. You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So it's bigger than what you think it is, bro. It's bigger than what you think it is, bro.
It's definitely crazy,
you know
bro. Hey, I appreciate the phone call like always, homeboy.
I'm telling you the facts. Hey.
Oh,
don't
no, bro. I'm
don't judge me, bro.
I'm not telling you no. Fool. I just need to leave room for other people. No, I'm not telling you no. I'm just saying thank you for the phone call, player.
That's legitimate. That's for everybody. So that's just common knowledge, bro. It's out there.
That's right, player. I love the info all the time, carnal.
Hey, signing out, Chaz.
That's
Peace
right.
out.
Hey, homie, be coming with the heat, homie. I'll take it. Let's see what we got in here. What's crack, Gil? You know what it is, homeboy. Eric Holder got away with illegal gun dealing. Yeah, they do that stuff. Yo, Gil, would you be up to having Sheriff Chad Bianco? Yeah, I hit him up on IG before, carnal. I hit him up just one time. You know, who knows? I think it's caught up in the mix, but yeah, I definitely would. I think he's a badass sheriff, carnal. I'm not gonna hate on the guy. I think he's a badass sheriff. I would love to have his take on crime, immigration, the whole shabam. The beauty of Sheriff Bianco is that he holds no punches, bro. He's a family guy, and he's a guy out there, trying to help clean the community up. I can't hate on that. Makes self-defense legal. It is legal. Let's see what the news. What's up, Smiley? The news won't tell us the majority of gun crimes are the age of 13 to 18 years old, involved in gangs in the city. Mass shooting victims are not the majority. Yeah, for sure. No, listen, we know that, and to me. No, we need guns, bro. We need guns. Guns will make it a safer home. I'll tell you that right now. The problem is that, especially in the inner city, it's a lot of lax laws. I don't think that kids should be getting all kind of time for guns, but they need to have some type of repercussion where these fools are going to a boot camp, and maybe if they're 14 years old, don't have a felony yet, and this is like one of their first actual felonies. Let's say a gun. I would love to see where gun charges for minors would become a felony, that if they go to a certain boot camp, it would get dropped onto a misdemeanor. And at that same boot camp that you're going to, you may be introduced into the Marine Corps, into the Air Force, into the Navy. Some people say, oh, you're selling out, but would you rather have this fucking kid on the block with a strap, with a beer in his hand, nothing to do? His whole life now is just gangs, and I'm throwing up for the gram, and this is all I got is the block, and make you think that life is that small. See, people who've never lived that life will be the first to say, oh, the Marines ain't for you. But I've seen what the Navy, what the Marines, what the Air Force can do for somebody's life, where I've seen homies of mine who were straight fucking bangers, and now their kids are doing the right thing. Their kids in their service. Their kids are going to get their 401k. Their kids are going to get, their retirement plan. That's what it's about. The hood ain't going to give you the retirement plan, Playboy. The hood, you could be 40, 50 years old. You do the wrong move, you gone. Simple as that. But that's just me. Transformer. Would you have a transformer? If we're talking politics, yeah, I don't care, bro. That don't bug me. Let me see. That just leaves the gate open to check on law-abiding gun owners. It's a slippery slope once you open the door. Yeah, Willie, it is a slippery slope. But in order to sit there and prevent these psychopaths, these guys who have mental health, from getting these guns and go shooting up schools, this will help. So to me, if I'm a politician, I'm going to tell you, I apologize for the inconvenience of you having to go through some forms, but it's better than going to some forms to bury your nephew, to bury your daughter, to bury your son? Would you rather fill up form out in 30 minutes? And if you've had a gun, you'd be grandfathered in. You're not going to have to go check all this. If you have a gun, that's just me thinking as a lawmaker, you would be grandfathered in. But my sales pitch would be that. I'm sorry you have to waste 30 minutes to fill out this form, but it's better than filling a form, to cremate your son or daughter, or to the burial. What are we going to do? Oh, so are we going to give away doves? Your kid's 13 years old and got killed by... No, man. Your kid's 8 years old and got murdered? No, we're better than that, homeboy. And if it means we have to compromise, and that's what America has forgotten what to do, is compromise. Everybody just wants their side to come out victorious. And that's not a compromise, man. But that's just me, Willie. Canadians are joining the Satan gang, huh? Facts. At least you join the military, you get out with free college benefits. No, absolutely, bro. I'm telling you, it's just you get some people who hate it because they say it's a colonial. Come on, man, get out of here, carnal. They're the same people working at Starbucks. Gil, did you see the video of a orb land in an airport? No, I've seen them by the White House. I've seen them everywhere, but I have not yet seen the orb land at an airport. But it's only a matter of time, man. I'm thinking within 5 years, we're gonna see some aliens, carnal. We have to, and if not, then we don't, carnal. It is what it is. Roger Elliott, the virgin shooter in California, father was the director of Hunger Games. Strange coincidence. That is a pretty strange one. But the one wasn't a strange, was a dumbass. Was the one they arrested in this last one that the cops came and said, "Hey, your son's been giving death threats and this and that, and he says he's got a gun, and all the while the dad knows he's got a gun and all that, and yeah, he's got one, but we just go like at that point it's like, hey son, I gotta take this gun from you right now because that was pretty alarming. I'm gonna lock it up for you. When you want to go hunting with me, then we'll take it out and we'll go hunting. But yeah, maybe I need to spend some more time with my kid here and make sure he doesn't go and shoot up a school. But again, players, that's just me." Say Hawkman won because of American Cholo, fool. Let him know, carnal. They don't want to hear that, fool. They don't want to hear that. They get mad. What else you fools got real quick? Your input. You know what? I haven't seen Syria jump off for a minute, but I heard that Syria maybe possibly sending some troops over to Russia as well. That's the thing. Syria is one of those countries it's just a war country, bro. It's just a war country, and it's sad. I guess it's probably like how when you hear South Chicago, they got so many people dead over here, but over there is much more. But it's like something that the world has just gotten used to and isn't really worried about. If the widows ain't dying, homie, nobody really cares. And I'm sorry, but that's just the truth of the thing. See, join the military saved my life. I was going that route. Lost friends in Afghanistan, but I also lost more friends in the so-called streets for nothing. Oh man, hey, appreciate you and your boys, homie. And I'm telling you, I know for a fact in my mind that if I would have gone to, the military, bro, I would have been a military man all day long. I mean, it's in my nature to lead. It's in my nature to do stuff. It's in my nature, to be gun-ho and all that stuff. To me, especially at how I was and my way of thinking and the testosterone I had as a young man, bro, to me, the military would have been an excellent place, bro. Excellent. And actually, I spent some time in the military with the Air Force and Navy. If anyone knows my story, they would know I went there while I was in jail to do I did a course at Port Hueneme. They said, "Hey, Gil, they have this course. You're gonna go in there with Air Force guys, Navy guys, and you're gonna do, I believe it was diesel and mechanic school. But the only problem is that we have to add another 3 months to your sentence." I said, "Let's do it." They added another 3 months. I would wake up early in the morning. The bus would take me. Oh, there was a trip, bro, because I was in jail. And then I'm out there, and for 10 hours, I'm free. I was just out, but I was at their base, and I would go there. And it was a trip. I would eat lunch in a certain area, like by the quad. Everybody else would take off and go back to eat in their dorms where they're at, their barracks. But there were a couple guys would stay around, and there was and I used to wear the brown khaki shirt, right, collar, and at that point, I'm in great shape, homie. I'm all creased up, everything, with the black boots shined up. And I remember one of the guys, he comes, he's like, "Hey, can I eat lunch?" I said, "Yeah, no problem, bro." We start eating lunch, we start chopping it up. He's like, "How long you been here?" I said, "I've been here for about," because it would go in courses. So it was like I I don't know if it was like an 8-week course or something, or maybe a little longer. So you would have, the first 2 weeks and the second 2 weeks. But by that time, I already been there for about 3 weeks. So the guy who came in, he was from the Navy, and he's like, "Yeah, man, I heard there's a con over here, an ex-con with us." I said, "You know what? I heard the same thing, bro." He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah. What do you think?" And I was, I don't know, man. My guy might be a dirt. It's typical Gil, but a young guy, man. My guy might be a dirtbag, might be this. And then after lunch, I tell the guy, "Hey, my man, pleasure meeting." He's like, "Hey, pleasure meeting you." I say, "By the way, I'm that ex-con, bro." He just looked at me. He's like, "No way." He started laughing. After that, I would see the guy all the time eating lunch, and I would see other guys all the time. So it was a great program where I, as a street guy, got to see what the military life was, how the whole thing was, and it was very impressive, bro. Very impressive. And on the other side of the token, they got to see a guy who is currently in jail, keeping up with them, doing a thing with them, and just being one of them, bro. And not to what do they say? To my own horn, I ended up getting the highest grade in that class, homie. That was the class of shit. It would have been like 99, nothing major, homie. All right, people. American Jarhead. With that, we are out of here. Tomorrow, we will be live in studio. It'll be the full cast. It should be Mohawk Matt. It should be Big Droops. It should be Boo Boo Bear and myself, or either hopefully Lonely pulls up, homie. It'll be a session of the boys. All the Valleros will be in the building. Appreciate you guys. Shout out from Oregon. All right, homie. Shout out to all you vatos. Appreciate you. Make sure to hit that like, subscribe button. Let's keep it running, homie. And to the haters, you know what it is, homie. I ain't going nowhere. A rato, vatos.